welcome to another meditation on eczema video. Today's meditation is on forgiveness, and having eczema can be very easy to blame ourselves for not being more in control of our itching, of not taking care of our skin as much as we'd like to, of just wishing we knew more, like we should know more about this condition. And I remember in some of my worst moments dealing with eczema, especially as a teenager and a young adult in my 20s, I just felt so angry at myself a lot of the time. I'm just like, I know I don't want to scratch, but I really feel like scratching, because on a very physical level it just felt out of control. It felt like having a bunch of ants crawling on me, like hundreds of them, and I just want to scratch them away. Or it would feel like just like an overwhelming wave of itchiness. Like if you've ever gotten poison ivy or poison oak, like try to multiply that by 100, just any kind of exponentially wildly high number of that you could think of to multiply the experience of feeling itchy after poison oak is hopefully close to what it's like to have eczema, because it is incredibly itchy and feels incredibly uncontrollable. Like it's just an experience that you really need to have to understand it. And it can be very frustrating to not know really what's going on, because so many things affect it at any given moment that it's just like, which one of these factors around me, which one of the 100 factors around me, the 100 variables, that could have been, which one of those affected me, which one of those was the thing that is making me scratch right now so hard? Was it something I ate? Was it something I ate 3 days ago? Who knows? I mean, when you're in it, it's really hard to know at first. And if you're new to it, it is just I don't know, like it's just so intangible. It just seems so up in the air because it's not so clear, and your skin's not always so directly affected by things in the moment. So I just blame myself a lot. I blame myself for not doing better by myself, to myself. But if you've watched my previous meditation videos, you know that just negative thinking is just dirtying your mind and clouding and cluttering your mind with more negativity, which will increase your stress levels, which will increase your cortisol levels and trigger an itch fest even more. And at some point, aside from finding the strength within to keep pushing, to keep searching for an answer for yourself, it's also, I've found that it's really important to find forgiveness for yourself, to forgive yourself for not knowing better and not having all the answers, to forgive yourself for not looking perfect, to forgive yourself for damaging your skin because you didn't really mean to. If you have it, you know you didn't mean to hurt yourself. Because what we are experiencing is just a very highly heightened, sensitive immune system and nervous system, which is just a very physical experience, like getting poison oak times 100 at least. And while that's happening, we know that emotionally, that intentionally, spiritually, psychologically, we do not want to do it. We do not want to scratch this much, if at all, but we can't help it because of the physical response our body is having to an allergen, to a trigger. It often feels like having two separate systems going on at the same time, that my mind is like not connected to my body, that my body has a mind of its own, and that it has something it needs to get out of its system one way or another, and I guess no other way was working, so it just has to make its way up through the skin. But I don't want to damage myself. You know, I don't want to hurt myself, and I know you don't either. If you have eczema, you don't really want to hurt yourself. You don't purposely think, oh, I can't wait to bleed today. I can't wait to scratch my skin so hard that it oozes and becomes crusty and flaky, and I have just days, weeks, or years of suffering to go through before my, you know, natural skin tone shows through. You know, it's important to acknowledge that and to forgive ourselves for the pain, because it's not intentional. And on, you know, another level of forgiveness, we also need to forgive. It's important to forgive the people around us who judge us. And it doesn't seem fair because usually those people do not have eczema and have no idea what we're going through. Yet they feel like because their skin's just fine, they must have the perfect advice for just anyone on the planet, and that like they have a right to put down people or judge people or, you know, make people with worse skin feel bad, like it's not bad enough having it. And it's not an easy pill to swallow, but it is important, because holding grudges and putting up walls against people in your life, strangers even, cashiers, you know, whoever, who comment on your skin, try to give you advice or judge you, and just are like super horrified and shocked. There's no point really in letting them get to you, you know, letting their lack of experience with eczema get to you, you know, because really they don't know what you're going through. They can't know what will help you. I don't know, that's like me telling someone with acne what to do when I have super dry skin and I've never had acne. You know, what am I really gonna know? Maybe they know someone else with eczema. Maybe they do know a remedy or a medicine that did work for a friend of theirs, and they're just trying to be helpful and let you know. But I know having eczema can be very easy to feel resentful at people with perfect skin or just not eczema trying to judge me or advise me on something they have no idea about. They do mean well. Your parents, your siblings, your significant other, just people who are trying to do their best in I guess like handling it and trying to help you, or them just not being able to stand it, because it can look pretty it can look pretty horrifying. Even I have to admit to myself on my own rashes that, you know, there are times where it just looks bad. But, you know, I had to forgive my mom for all the times that she judged me and asked me, why are you harming your skin? Why are you damaging your beautiful skin? Or, you know, all the cashiers who would like look at me and just, you know, make horrified faces, or you know, try to preach to me about, you know, the importance of taking care of your skin and treating it well and loving yourself and all that stuff. And yeah, I got it. I do love myself, but there's something in my body that my body and immune system do not love. I didn't have the language back then to explain my situation, but that's okay, because now I do, and I continue to look for more possible answers and more ways to increase my quality of life and the quality of my skin and my body. And, you know, forgiving other people just make it easier to forgive yourself, because it will help take down the walls that ironically might be keeping you from seeing the answers that could possibly also be just around you. They're just hard to see because you've become so defensive or sensitive or resentful, or, you know, just, you know, trying to hold yourself together and to not feel worse about yourself than you already do having this. They're just doing their best. You're just doing your best. We all only ever know what we know at any given time. We don't know what we don't know. But that makes it so much more important to know that at least we have our own backs. At least, we can try to see that these preachy, judgmental people around us just might be trying to, deal with witnessing our pain and witnessing our, the damage to our skin as best as they can. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I appreciate the efforts. I know better having it, even though it gets naggy sometimes, particularly with parents and family. It's better than not caring at all and just totally ignoring it and pretending it doesn't exist when it just clearly does. It just, does. And that's okay. We are all on a journey, and it's honestly never over. So we can always learn about even more ways to heal ourselves and help those around us when we can. I hope that this video has inspired you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!